Welcome to Church Biz. I am your host, Reverend Patrina White McClure. I am so excited about the show that we're about to have on today. But before we get into that, let me remind you that WCEG Network is your 501c3 platform. So if you are looking for something, a solid ground to sow seed into, please give us a call at 404-890-8646. Excuse me, that's 404-490-8646. 404-490-8646. Thank you for everybody that's tuning in a little bit early for Church Biz, but we are so excited that you've taken time out of your schedule to be with us, and our very, very, very special guest, Miss Shavontay Brown. Welcome, Miss Brown. How are
Good
you?
morning. Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of our show today. I'm so excited to hear how you came to be this entrepreneur, the half of the dynamic duo that runs the One Seafood. Go first, tell our listeners about you.
I would try to keep it as brief as possible, but my brand is based off any memory of my brother, Dewan. That is his name. He was killed in 2000. So that is how I came about with the name Dewan Seafood. So Dewan is in remembrance of my brother, Dewan. Um, I've always been the person in the family when we have get-togethers to do seafood boils and basically to do a lot of cooking. I was born in Florida, but my background, everybody else, is from Louisiana. So that is actually, that's my background, but I was born in Florida. So that's where I came in with combining Florida seafood with the twist of Louisiana, because I use the flavors and everything from Louisiana with the style of Florida seafood. So that is really how I came about with the One Seafood. That's how it all started. It started with family, and everybody is, I'm always doing every get together. You're gonna do seafood, you're gonna do seafood, you're gonna do seafood. So it's like, okay, y'all love it. I think everybody else will love it too. And I started with catering and only delivering. My customer base got so big to the point to where I had to branch out, expand, and I started with a food trailer, and then I moved on to a brick and mortar. So now I'm on my way to location number 2, but this is going to have a twist with it. It's going to be soul food, seafood, and brunch. So that's where I am right now, and that's how Dwayne Seafood got started.
That is a beautiful, beautiful story, especially in the memory of your brother. Uh, Out of curiosity, did you also cook for a repast to honor him?
Well, no, honestly, my brother passed when I was 16.
Wow.
So yeah, I was still in high school. So it was just really honestly just doing something that I love to do for my family. I was like, hey, this will be the best way to keep his memory alive. And, it's just bringing everything together. But, that was one of my best friends. So this is how I have my personal relationship, spiritual, however anyone wants to look at it. But the One Seafood constantly will always be my brother. That's just what it is for me.
Awesome, awesome. All right. So you figured out your niche at the family gatherings that it's primarily seafood. And
Yes.
then you just pushed it a little bit further. You took a risk to
I
try it
did.
on other people. So
Yes.
how did that happen? I mean, you went to a food truck and those aren't cheap. So how did you get the funding for all of that?
Honestly, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Saving, had a goal. I sat down, figured out what the cost of a trailer was versus, what am I budgeting or making weekly? And this is after product inventory, dry goods, anything that I need to do the business. I deducted that. And from there, I just set a goal. This is what I would put away every week. So, like I said, I started out with catering and delivery only. I was delivering all over Atlanta. And when I say all over Atlanta, I mean that Alpharetta, Noonan, Kennesaw. So, I'm giving you base points that's east, west, north, south. I would be doing, I'll be out for an hour doing deliveries, just trying to get there. And of course, driving back is an hour. So, I literally would start deliveries at 11 a.m. and it's nights out. I would not get home until 1 a.m. because that's how many orders that I had. So my customer base, by the grace of God, expanded, got bigger. And, I was able to utilize and be smart and see that I needed to walk through this next door that's open for me. So again, I just saved up and, went from there. And I did my research, found someone that was selling trailers, and that was, his business. I also had a food commissary, so that was a benefit for me, meaning that, the person I purchased my trailer from, I was also able to do everything else that I needed to start to operate out of my trailer, meaning permits, having somewhere that the trailer could be parked due to the health department regulations and their rules. So it was just really a lot of research, a lot of, just, I'm trying to find the right word because it just went out my head. I'm sorry. Just a lot of background and doing everything that I needed to do to make sure that I can run a successful business instead of just trying to jump out and not know what I'm doing. So I did a lot of studying, a lot of reading, a lot of questions. I asked people questions, joined a lot of groups of people that were already with the food truck or food trailer industry. And I just did my homework.
Awesome. Because it is so hard for restaurants to stay open. It sounds like you did almost all the right things, according to going to the Small Business Association, and they're willing to help small business owners with all of those skills that you're talking about, doing the research, developing the habit of saving, preparing for a rainy day, because some days in the cooking industry, you're going to sell, sell, sell. And then there are other days you don't get any kind of business. And so you have that cushion to help protect you, in the low times, or in the down times. And so you built a network. These are things that all business owners should be doing, but it's amazing how you pretty much found your calling in spite of the tragedy of losing your brother. And then you notice people speaking purpose to you when they're saying, you need to do this, you need to keep this cooking, we need to keep on eating this, girl, so on and so forth. So I love that you caught on to that. You did the research. That is critical, because most businesses fail within the first 5 years of their start. And so it sounds like you're doing everything to keep that from happening. All right.
Yes, it's still a process.
And that's critical, because learning is a process. People think once they think that there is a place that you've arrived, and it's not necessarily that. It's a point of maintaining what you've acquired, and then after a while you want to expand your impact and your reach, like you're going into soul food now. So how did that idea come in?
Okay. I've always had let me see, I think beyond than my current situation. So I always knew, and I still know what I want to do and add, addition, expand, whatever it is with the business. So, like I said, with the food trailer, I had already knew I want to open up a restaurant. But like I said, I just went step by step. As far as the restaurant, with doing seafood, I opened up during the pandemic. And a lot of people thought I was crazy for doing it. But I felt like that was the best time because we were on a shutdown or limited hours. So guess what? People still need to eat. And that was honestly the pandemic when we were shut down, that was one of the best, my best sales that I've seen since opening. But with the new spot, honestly, I was approached from the owner of the building, reaching out to me for me to bring my business into their building. So that's how that came about. Even though I already knew that I wanted to eventually open up a soul food, do brunch, and of course, I'm gonna still have seafood there. But it was, when the time is right, it'll be right. So, they approached me, and of course, I followed, and that's all I can really say. I followed, and I'm in the process now of doing all the remodeling in the building. Hopefully, location number 2, which is the one with soul instead of doing seafood, is the one with soul. This will be open late April, early May. Just give or take, just depends on how everything goes with the remodeling. But that's how I came about with the second location. The vision was there, but I was approached and just took the steps.
That is so critical. I love that. You were willing to wait on the right time, and when it came, you were prepared. It's like how we say heaven is a place for prepared people. You can't wait till death or Jesus comes back for you and say, I want to get saved now. And because we don't know when it's going to happen, but you have to be prepared and give your life over to the Lord. Likewise, you were prepared for opportunity when it came. You didn't say, hey, let me scramble around and scrape up like most of us do. Because we don't have that foresight. We don't develop it, or we're afraid of it if we get it. So where I'm hearing maybe a mentor you had somewhere, or there was someone you watched along the way to help develop this skill to know it has to be more than my present situation.
I have a strong team behind me, and that is friends turned family, and even associates dealing with my first spot, my current spot. I developed great relationships with, honestly, the owners of my current spot now. So it's like, any opportunities or things that they feel that is beneficial for me, they always, hey, Miss Tay, I go by Tay. Just calling you, we are looking to do this, to do that. And, I think it'll be a great fit for you. If it's something that you're interested in, let us know, friends and family. Hey, I may have an idea or something that I want to share and get second opinions that either say, yeah, that's good, or pump your brakes, just wait a minute, not right now. So I've always been backed up. I've always had somebody behind me, people behind me, regardless of what it is that I have going on and what I'm doing. So that's one thing I will definitely say I'm grateful for, because I know that I can procrastinate. I worry a lot. So a lot of things, I question a lot of things versus being smart and receiving the information is more so what if, or I don't want to, kind of like doubting myself. But being that I have those in my corner, whether it's, like I said, friends, family, on the business side, I always have that extra guidance and second opinions, or just, even it's not necessarily always opinions. Sometimes their answer is what I needed to hear, and that is the right answer versus, whatever it is that I'm thinking and I'm feeling. So it's not a one-man show. I may be the forefront, I may be the person that everybody sees or they only know, but trust me, it takes more than just yourself to get to the finish line. It takes more than yourself to have the right answers. It takes more than yourself to have the correct information. You're always going to need somebody else behind you, with you, to help you with those situations, or paperwork, whatever it is that you do not understand. So it's just not me. I can't take all the credit. I love my village. I have a strong village. I have a huge village. So I love every last one of them because everybody has helped me along the way, and I'm grateful.
Praise the Lord for that. Praise God. That's a blessing. You're humble, so you're teachable. You recognize what you do and what you don't know. But one of the biggest lies we buy into, which you've already tapped into, which is, I did it myself or by myself. And no one does anything by themselves, including somebody had to help you change your diaper, help you to be born. They had to help raise and teach you and give you certain lessons, knowledge, skills. So one of the most damaging things I've learned along the way is to think that I did it myself. And also, it can't happen to me because whatever reason you think bad things can't happen, or even good things. And in your case, you were wide open. You were willing to give it a chance, the ideas a chance. And now it's taking off to where you're getting a second location. Whatever you're doing, keep doing that, and above all, continue to keep God first, because He is a part of your process. And that is why I have you on here. I'm a seafood lover. I am on your way. I haven't made it yet. Like I told Miss Birch, I haven't made, that's who connected us, Alexis Birch. But I haven't made it yet, but you are on my list. And I learned about you through my niece.
Yes.
Yes, my niece Jackie. And she's like, Auntie, look, I know this lady, or this restaurant, they want to get on the radio, but also you have to taste their food. And so I am on the way. I haven't forgotten my promise. But can you go ahead and tell our listeners where you are located, what your address is, and where we can follow you? How do we place orders, so on and so forth?
The One Seafood is located at 5428 River Station Boulevard. It's in Atlanta, 30349. Ordering is pretty simple. You can either call in, but all call-in orders, I will say, you have to pay over the phone when you call. I am signed up with DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, so you can order takeout for you to pick up, or you can order for delivery if you are in the radius of their delivery zone. Also, of course, stop by, come in. There are tables. You can dine in. If you prefer to take it home, you can do takeout. So, yeah.
Okay. Are you also on social media?
Oh, yeah, you did ask me that. I'm sorry. Yes, Facebook, The One Seafood, Instagram, The One Seafood, and the website is theoneseafood.com, www.theoneseafood.com.
So we can place orders. You said what?
Go ahead. No, I was going to spell it out because I know some.
Or either three.
Say that once more.
Is there a preferred method for us to place orders?
No, no. So most orders come through on the tablets, which is Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub. And again, like I said, you can call in your order for pickup, or you can just stop by and place your order.
Okay, and what is your number?
Phone number is 678-978-3957.
All right, thank you for that. I'm excited about going there to eat the food. So all I have to do is call 678-978-3957. And the address again?
5428 River Station Boulevard, Atlanta, Georgia, 30349.
Awesome, awesome. So everybody head to the One Seafood, call Uber Eats and all of that, get your seafood. I went to your Facebook page and I see you're talented, you're creative. Uh, I think that was a birthday setup I saw on there where you spelled the name with the corn, the placement of the corn with all the crab legs over the table. I'm like, oh man, I would have went bonkers if I was there. And so out of curiosity, do you do a lot of parties, occasions? I know you said you used to cater. Do you still cater and all of that?
Yes, ma'am. Catering is available, and any catering quotes or inquiries, you can send an email to the one seafood at yahoo.com. So the one seafood is spelled D as in dog, AONE seafood at yahoo.com. So yes, I still do catering. And like I said, they can reach out and send an email with any questions for catering, and we can go from there. Everybody quote is different depending on the needs, and of course the number of people that they're trying to accommodate and feed.
Awesome, awesome. Because that all those plates and all, it just looks so good. And so, what are some of the complications that you run into being a restaurateur that people don't think of? We just think, I'm gonna go pay my money. The food better be here, and I shouldn't have to wait any extra time because I'm the best customer ever. What are some of the things from the backside that you go through that we do not consider? I know I can see on your
Grace,
face.
grace, and patience. I know I'm not the first and I will not be the last, but I am short employees. So there are days that I am there in the kitchen, cooking, taking orders, giving people their food by myself. So even though you have those that may order on a tablet and they may have a 45-minute wait for food because I'm by myself. So my biggest thing that what's going on now is patience. A lot of people that do know me or is familiar with my business, they already know. Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, it's a wait game, but everyone is understanding. But that is one of the biggest things, knowing and understanding and just having grace, knowing that, I'm short employees. But it's worth the wait, but that is one of the biggest things. That's number one.
Okay, and that's because of the pandemic, because so many other restaurants, a lot of people have chosen not to go back into that particular industry because of the pandemic, and people were getting the money for their kids and all of that. Do you think that them getting the money for uh, to meet the child care needs, that contributed greatly to people not returning to the industry? Are there certain themes that you have found that tend to be common among people in this particular industry?
It is very common in the restaurant industry that we are short staffed. I mean, everywhere you turn, you see now hiring immediately, urgently need crew members. So I know because of the pandemic, with everyone receiving whatever benefits they were receiving, unemployment, extra funding, whatever it is, that has contributed to people not coming back to work. So it is honestly a nationwide thing. Even when I travel outside of Georgia, I'm always seeing a now hiring sign. So we're short. I mean, nobody wants to work. I really don't know the details behind of why so many people don't want to work. It could be some people starting new businesses. Some people may still be receiving unemployment. I don't know the details, but I know that it's just not my business. It's everywhere. We're just short staffed at the moment, but seems like it's starting to take a little turn. People are starting to apply, but they don't show up to the interviews. So it's just really, I'm just waiting to see. Hopefully it'll get better. It'll get better.
It will. I'm hearing the same things uh, um, about other industries too. They'll have like 10 people to come to a job or sign up for interviews. And then once they commit, they don't show up. Then you're left with one or two people to choose between. Those are the people, it can be a blessing in disguise because that might be the right person for you, you know, but you do wonder what is it. And like you said, a lot of people have started their businesses um, because of the pandemic, because they had to find other sources of income to supplement that which they lost. And especially in the Atlanta area, there has been a great swelling of entrepreneurs. Now, the good thing is you were already in the business. So you didn't just start, but you were already doing the delivery side and the catering side. So how have you seen your supply resources impacted?
Um, Prices have increased tremendously. So just how you all, myself included, go to the grocery store for your weekly, monthly, your grocery shopping, things have increased, whether it's by 50 cents, a few dollars. It's the same for us as business owners. The cost of some things have actually doubled for me. So that's another, I'm not going to say it's another issue because I can't be upset for those that may feel that my prices are too high because I understand, it may just not be for everyone. But I had to increase prices due to inflation and the increase of my product. So one thing that I'm very, very big on is making sure that I can get the best with what I'm serving. I don't try to, get the cheapest or, whatever it is. I like the best product because I always want my food to stay the same, if that makes sense. Some businesses start out and they have really good product, this is, not necessarily, the quality of it is really good. And then a couple of months after, you see that the quality has changed because they may have changed their suppliers. They may change the vendor who they're buying from. I like to keep it consistent. So I have to take a cut because I have to, pay the increase, which is fine for me because that's just one of my promises. And I always said I would never change what I do. If I have to change anything, it's going to be to make it better, not because I'm trying to save $1 or two. So prices have increased tremendously, but it's just seemed like it's just a part of what's going on within the world, and all the changes with everything that's going on today. But I will definitely say, it's been an eye opener. And like I said, I'm still learning. So this is part of being a business owner. Things are going to go up and down, and you have to be willing to make that sacrifice. And you got to change some things. And when I say change some things, that could be for me personally, meaning that I may not be able to do X, Y, and Z now because I have to put that back into my business so I can keep it going, making sure that my customers are happy, making sure that the quality of my product is great. And that's one of my main goals. That's one, first. And I tell people that all the time. Somebody may come in, they order, and they're like, God, the prices are a little high, like, but it's worth it. And I'm not going to tell you it's worth it if it's not. And sometimes, people get their food, they look at it like, oh, okay, yeah, this look good. This look good. I'll be back. And 90% of my customers, they are returning customers.
And it's like they say, if the food is good, the folks will pay the price. They will come back. So you just keep doing what you're doing. And like you said, it will get better because there is always a shift. Things swing back and forth. There's a set time, a season for everything. So you might not be as prosperous now, but in the future, you will be. And so, do you have any plans to create your own spices, or are you already doing that? What are your thoughts about that?
I'm actually in the works of that. Just getting, it's kind of like a sampling thing. So, have different companies that do produce, my label that can produce what I need. So I'm actually in the phase of going through that now. And that will actually help me with the cost of my seasonings and things of that nature. Hopefully, in the long, later on, I'm not going to say right now because I know I can't do it right now with everything that's going on. I got a lot on my plate. Hopefully, I'm able to bottle and package up my butter, because a lot of people ask, can they buy it in, the bottles to take home and, just have it for their personal use. So hopefully that's another plan for me, but it's not in the immediate right now, but that is definitely a plan. But yes, getting my, everything that I use in the kitchen all the way down to my batter, I am trying to get that a private label, which would be the One Seafoods label. So that's in the works, actually, as we speak.
Well, congratulations. Wow. Awesome. I really have to hurry down there. So I know you're a philanthropist. You don't mind sewing in the middle of all of these stressors. You're sewing into other people at the same time. And I'm a living witness because uh, I, as well as the owner of WCEG Network, Reverend Penny Rogers, we were just hosting a conference a few months ago, and you decided to be one of our platinum sponsors. And so we thank you for that. In the midst of the demand that's on you, you're still giving to other people. Where does that come from?
It can be a blessing and it can be a curse, but that has always been my personality. I have a soft spot, always looking for the good, even when it can be 1,000 times, 1,000% bad. I still try to find that little 1% that's good and bring it out. So that's always been me. I mean, sometimes it can get me in situations that I knew better, but I always look at everything as a lesson. So I've always been a open person since I've been in business for myself, with giving advice, answering any questions, and helping people out, because I know what it feels like to start and needing that help. You know, you got people that don't want to tell you certain things for whatever the reason is. I still don't understand why we have those type of people in the world, but unfortunately, that's just what it is. So just knowing what I've been through, what I've gone through, I'm an open book. You know, I have people that come in all the time that order, and they like, I'm thinking about opening up, X, Y, Z, whatever their business idea is. And my response is always go for it. You know, I'm not going to tell you no. I'm not going to say, oh, you shouldn't do it, because what's for you is for you. And they may ask for advice, asking, well, is it easy? No, it's not easy. I won't lie to you and make you think it's easy. But if you have a passion for what you want to do, it would be well worth it. So I've always been an open book. I don't mind helping. I don't mind answering questions. I don't mind passing along any information that I have. I'm actually, right now, I have a young lady that's in the food truck industry. She texts me, calls me, asks me questions, the small things, and I give her whatever resources that she needs, because it's available. It's not just for me, it's for you and whoever else can utilize it. So that's just always been who I am as an individual. I'm a very, I know I may look, people say I look mean all the time, but thanks, Mom. But I'm a very easygoing person. I mean, I'm just an open book, and it's always been my heart. I try to help those even when people say I shouldn't, but that's just who I am.
And stay that way, because this is what we call ministry. All ministry doesn't only take place within the four walls of the church. And so I think it's 94% of ministry takes place outside of the four walls. And so when we do what we've been called to do, whether it's cooking, whether it's cleaning, you could be a fashion designer, you could be an educator, uh, uh, you could be a doctor, an astronaut, whatever God calls you to do. That is your area of responsibility. That is the garden that God has placed you in to become all that you can be. And Miss Brown, before we get off the air, because we have just a few minutes left, will you please repeat your address, your social media, phone number, so that we can be sure to share that with our listeners?
Yes, ma'am. The One Seafood is located at 5428 River Station Boulevard, Atlanta, Georgia, 30349. Contact phone number is 678-978-3957. Social media, Instagram, The One Seafood, Facebook, The One Seafood. And it is spelled D as in dog, AONE seafood. Email address is theoneseafood@yahoo.com for any catering inquiries or just questions overall within about the menu or anything of that nature.
That is so exciting. I'm looking forward to my very first visit with you all. I saw those pictures. I'm telling you, I'm like, oh man, she got real crab legs out there. They were so big, everybody. Go look at their Facebook page. You're gonna get hungry. And I'm just excited, but I hear so much coming out from your heart and your spirit. So you already mentoring. I'm looking forward to you being a huge influence within the Atlanta business community, not just providing food, but showing others how to do what they've been called to do. And you mentioned some key things, and I love it. The one that I really want to hit on is you have to put in the work. Nothing comes easy. You can't work for 5 minutes and then think everything's supposed to take off. You have to keep on work. You started with your family. And another entrepreneur I'm familiar with, she recently said, I figure I'm good if my family will listen to what I'm trying to do and join in with me. And she felt like that was her litmus test, that she is headed in the direction if your family is with you. And I love how that happened for you. But for those, everybody's family isn't with them. And I'm quite sure you've come across people like that. And they have to find it within themselves to do those same things that you already mentioned. Do your research, do your homework. You got to hustle up the business. Sometimes you might have to give free product just to spread the news. People have to sample, in order to know what it is that you're trying to push. Whatever it is, everybody in our church biz audience, whatever God has called you to do, Ms. Brown has given you all the critical steps to take, to pay attention to, in order to maximize your business or your platform. So re-look at this show. Look at it again on Facebook. It'll be on YouTube. It's streaming live now. Re-look at this. She mentioned so many business principles, but get in touch with her. Try the product. I guarantee you, through word of mouth, I'm gonna let you know in the future that the food is as good as it is. Just go to the Facebook page, y'all. It's looking good. I know it's good, but you won't be disappointed if you go visit the One Seafood. This is your host of Church Biz. I am Reverend Patrina White McClure. I am so grateful that you tuned in to be with us today, and I know that you will be empowered for doing so. So, everybody, take care. God bless.